Welcome. This is Udum Maths. Today I want us to look at inverse of trigonometric ratio under trigonometry. Okay. Now when you talk of inverse of trigonometric ratio, it's just like dividing whatever we have by any of the trig ratios. For example, if I have cos, let's say x is equal to a, and I'm asked to find x. So that is going to be x equals a over cos. And this is the same as x equals cos inverse of a. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Okay. Okay, now let's look at this example. Cos into brackets theta plus 60 degrees is equal to 0.0872. Okay. So like I said earlier, we can divide through by cos. So this is going to be theta plus 60 equals, now when you have let's say 1 over 2, it's the same as 2 to the power negative 1. So instead of having this over cos, we can say that this is cos to the power negative 1 of 0.0872. Okay. So in this case, theta plus 60 becomes, now cos inverse of this is 85 degrees. So theta becomes 85 minus 60. And then theta is subsequently going to be, that is 25 degrees. Okay. Now let's look at one more example. Find the value of theta if 3 tan theta minus root 3 is equal to 0. Okay, where theta lies between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Okay, so 3 tan theta minus root 3 equals 0. So with this, we can, we are making theta the subject, or we are finding tan theta, or we are finding theta. So you can move this to this side. So that is 3 tan theta is equal to root 3. Okay. Then we need to divide both sides by 3. So here by 3, here by 3. Tan theta is equal to root 3 over 2. Sorry, over 3. Over 3. Then we find tan inverse of this. So theta becomes tan inverse of root 3 over 2. That is, sorry, over 3. That is dividing both sides by tan. Okay. Now theta is going to be 30 degrees. So it means, okay, so we are told to find the value of x if cos x is equal to 5 over 8. Okay, so and x is lying between 0 degrees to 30 degrees. Now this is going to give me straight away cos x is equal to 5 over 8. So x becomes cos inverse of 5 over 8. That is dividing both sides by cos. So x is going to be 51.32 degrees. Let's look at one last example and then we draw curtains to this lesson. Now let's look at this last example. So find the values of alpha if sine alpha is equal to negative 1 over 2, where alpha lies from 0 to 360 degrees. Okay. Now here the question is not just looking at one value of alpha, but rather values of alpha. Means the value should be more than 1. Okay. So let's solve this example. So sine alpha is equal to negative 1 over 2. Okay. So alpha becomes sine inverse of negative 1 over 2. And alpha is going to be negative 30 degrees. Okay. Now let's look at this quadrants. So this from negative, we measure angles in trigonometry, angle from positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third, then the fourth. Let's remind ourselves. Okay, so here all the trig ratios are positive. That is sine, cos, tan. They are all positive. Here sine is positive, cos and tan are all negative. Then here, tan is positive, the rest are all negative. And then here, cos is positive, the rest are all negative. Okay, so where we have sine to be negative half, so let's go to where sine is negative. Where we have the negative sine to be negative 30 is in the third and then the fourth quadrant. So let me draw this again. Now, this place is where we have our negative 30 degrees. So it means that from this point to this point, alpha should be greater than 180. Alpha should be greater than 180. So it means that we have alpha minus 180 equals negative 30. So here, alpha is equal to 180 minus 30 degrees. And alpha becomes 150 degrees. So that's the first value of alpha. Okay, now let's look at the second value of alpha, if there is, because here sine is negative, and then the third quadrant sine is negative, and then on the fourth quadrant sine is also negative. So let's draw this again and then see what happens here also. Let me draw the Cartesian plane again. So on the fourth quadrant, alpha should be less than 360. So alpha should be less than 360. Alpha is here. The arrow here indicates we are moving this direction. That is why it's negative 30. So let me indicate this is x and then y. Okay. Now, since in the fourth quadrant, alpha is less than 360, then it means 360 minus alpha should be equal to negative 30. Okay. Now, let me bring this one in and then send this one there. So alpha becomes 360 plus 30 degrees, and alpha is going to be 390 degrees. Okay, but we are told that alpha should lie between 0 degrees, from 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So if it should lie between 0 degrees and then 360, then it means alpha can never be 390, because when this happens, then it means alpha is more than this, or alpha can be here. So alpha is the first answer that we got from calculation. That is 150 degrees. Okay, so this is alpha. Let's meet in the next lesson for more examples or more tutorials. This is Udum Maths. Thank you for watching. Bye.